This week on True Crime with Ray the DA and Jack Patty, we featured a case from 2014. We had Assistant Commonwealth Attorney Dan Laird, Victims Advocate Mary Houlihan, and Officer Moravchik on the show to discuss the case. 43-year-old Noel Espino was a captain in the Guam National Guard and was here in Lexington on temporary duty training at the Bluegrass Station with other members from his unit. On the evening of September 19th, Noel was out in the Chevy Chase area of Lexington with some of his friends that he was training with. He stepped outside of the beer trap to take a phone call from his wife, Rose, when he was hit by a drunk driver, pinning him between the building and the SUV. The driver of the white SUV fled the scene and left Noel Espino critically injured and fighting for his life. When officers arrived at the scene, witnesses reported what they saw, and some of them had been able to see the license plate number. The driver's wife returned to the scene after exiting the vehicle and reported to the officers who it was that was driving the white SUV. The driver was identified as 37-year-old Jared McCargo, a Lexington firefighter. Officers were then dispatched to McCargo's address, where they found him hiding behind a trash can near the residence. He was taken into custody and charged with 7 different charges, including assault first, leaving the scene of an accident, assault fourth, and DUI. McCargo's blood alcohol level was .122. Noel was taken to the University of Kentucky, where he remained in a coma for a month. He stayed in the ICU for another 3 months. He had to have multiple surgeries, including the amputation of his left leg and part of his pelvic bone. He was transferred to a rehabilitation center in Houston, Texas, which is where he remains today. Noel has not been able to return home since the horrible incident occurred. Noel wrote a letter describing how this event impacted his life.
Had robbed so many things from me. He took away my time from celebrating my daughter's 18th birthday. My daughter's birthday was celebrated instead at the waiting room of the intensive care unit at the University of Kentucky Hospital. I was not able to partake at her birthday because I was laying there in bed fighting for my life. Mr. McCargo also stole from me my time to be with my lovely wife. I love my wife so dearly. My wife lost her job because she has to take care of me. I'm about to lose my job too because of the result of my injuries.
His daughter, Jasmine Espino, also wrote a letter describing how this event impacted her life. I tried to influence myself that this accident would not be that bad, that soon he'd return home so we would be a complete again. However, it wasn't. Coming home each day after school was always so difficult because I would come home to an empty home. I would have an aunt to take care of me, but it was not the same because the 2 most important people that I wanted by my side were not able to be there physically. I moved to California a couple days after my graduation in order to be closer to both my parents who live in Texas. I want nothing more than to go back home to Guam with my parents and to be living in our home again. I'm still waiting for the day when my dad will be better and able to walk with his prosthetic leg. As for Jared McCargo, he was fired from his job as a Lexington firefighter and found guilty of all counts by a jury. On November 6, 2015, he was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Make sure you listen in this Friday as we discuss this case on True Crime with Ray the DA and Jack Patty.